Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson. This is a tactical preview of United against Tranmere in the FA Cup. Oh, and this is definitely the first take. Right, Solskjaer has been talking at the press conference. He got a little bit of an update on a couple of the injuries. He says it's a bit stretched at the minute, but we are getting players back after the break, so we will be better after the break. Rashford's obviously still missing. He said at the moment he's been having loads of treatment. We might be meeting in a day or two, who knows? But he's a genuine MUFC supporter who wants us to do well and help. He's at the games. Don't know why he said that. Don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. We think Eric Bailly might be going to be making his first appearance since picking up injury against Spurs in pre-season. He did have this to say about Bailly. He said he's one of the team who's more prepared for this pitch. Everyone's got to be focused with the bounce of the ball. Victor Lindelof is also fit, it seems, after missing the loss to Burnley. He said Lindelof will be available versus Tranmere. He's recovered. He's one more to choose from. So that's good. And I don't think anyone suffered any bad injuries in midweek. I think pressure's on here big time for Ole. And I really wouldn't put it past Ed Woodward doing something nuts to take the pressure off himself. Obviously, he's hired this PR agent in Neil Ashton, who's just gone to all his Sunday supplement cronies and is seeding all these absolutely wild stories, which are so transparent, it's hilarious. No one's gone, oh my God, look at this. Everyone just looks at it and gone, fuck off. No way is that real. Well, there you go. So that's interesting. But anyway, I won't put it past Woodward that if we mess this up this week, because let's be honest, right? Do you think that when they sat down and gave him the contract in March and whatever remit they give him, I don't think they said you have to win the league, right? I don't know what they said to him, but whatever they said to him, it probably didn't say, right, you have to win the FA Cup next year. I would expect it was like predicated on some progress being made in some areas to do something, but I don't really fully know what that really looks like. With the way it's all gone this season, a trophy would be nice, but I still always think finishing top four has to be the priority for United. And I actually think if we got a signing, it's half doable. But if we don't get a signing, it's definitely not happening. It's definitely not happening. I honestly wouldn't put it past Woodward to deflect the attention from him by binning Solskjaer if he loses this weekend. But you think, if he was giving the man a rebuilding job, where's the rebuild in that? Why isn't the rebuild being allowed to fucking rebuild? Did you honestly expect to see results in 9 months? Well, then you're stupid. If you expected to see results in 9 months, you should have let him buy 15 fucking players in the summer and then gone, right, well, you've had 15 players. What's going on? Anyway, let's talk about Tranmere. So they are currently third bottom in League One. They beat Wycombe, Chichester and Watford en route to the third round. It's United's first visit to Prenton Park, although I watched the under-18s play there in the UEFA Youth League. They often line up in a 4-3-2-1. Kieran Morris is third in League One on assists this season with 6. They're struggling for goals, to be honest. I think their highest goal scorer in the league's on 4. They've knocked out fellow Premier League club Watford, obviously, in the previous round. They're not very good, and I know this has bitten me in the arse several times by saying this, but they're not very good, and United just need to turn up and fucking smack them aside. That's what you're supposed to do. Whether or not we actually go and do that, I mean, I have my doubts, but that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to turn up tomorrow and just fucking smack these away. That's how it's meant to go down, and I know that I'm fucking getting clipped up, but let's be honest, it's not the first time. It's definitely not going to be the last time, so fucking crack on. Just make sure you're at me when you do it. Right, players to watch for United. I think it's going to be Mason Greenwood. He's flying so far this season. 9 goals for United's first team, 129 minutes per goal, 3.75 shots per goal, which is pretty damn good. 5 goals in cup competitions this season, and he's probably going to see a lot more game time since the absence of Marcus Rashford. Mason's really got to step up. He's looked good, but now I think this is the opportunity for him to go and look great. And I think this is the sort of opposition that he could potentially go and do that against. I do think they're going to sit back. I do think they're going to try and soak us up and hit us on the break. So you need someone with a little bit of guile like Mason that's going to be able to unpick the lock that I think that we're going to be coming up against. Starting 11 wise, here's what I want to see, or here's what I'm thinking we might see. I'm going with Romero in net, and I'm giving a debut to Ethan Laird. I'm going with Lindelof alongside Baye, because it does sound like Baye is going to be in the team. And I'm going to rest Maguire. I think some of Maguire's recent performances, when you think back to like he tore his hip, right, and we're wondering why he looks a little bit slow, maybe they're fucking linked, eh? So let's give him the day off. And I'm going to give the best left back in world football a day off as well, and let Luke Shaw play instead, because it's a bit of rotation in it. I'm going with a midfield two of Fred and Matic because there ain't nobody else, to be honest with you. And I've put Angel on the left. That's not where he plays. He's nowhere near a winger, but I just think that's where he's probably going to play. I'm probably looking for a little bit more of a narrow free in this because I want to see some 1-2s and playmaking a little bit. Mason comes narrow. Angel's going to come narrow. There's going to be very little amount of space, so I think some tight interplay in and around the D is probably going to be what pays off for United. I wanted to play Jesse Lingard because I don't think Juan Mata's going to feature, and I think he'll probably feature on Wednesday against City. So a start for Jesse Lingard, an opportunity for him to sort this fucking no goals and assists out, and Tony Marshall up front. Giving James a night off as well because I think he's looked a little bit jaded of late. So a night off for him, a night off for Harry Maguire, and an opportunity for some players like Ethan Laird, Angel Gomez to make a stake at being a more regular part of the squad, and obviously for Mason Greenwood to get some goals. I'm going to see what the Patreon group is saying for some questions. Nico says, what dirt does Pereira have on Ole to keep starting games? I think that's a ship that Ole might end up going down on, to be honest with you, because he's not good, is he? And he's probably starting to cost us some stuff. How many injuries will we get on Tranmere's pitch? Can I just skip that? I'm not looking forward to that. Vibe says, how is Bruno Fernandes not good enough for United? Andres Pereira good enough to even start? Do you know what I mean? Why don't Gunnar or Levitt get a chance in midfield? Because Matic is in need of a break, and he's played way too many games in a row to stay at a good level. Yeah, do you know what? I think you're right, actually. I mean, I didn't put one of them in because I just thought that's just too many changes, and I think knowing how badly we need to make sure we win this game, I don't think we can afford to make that many changes. I think you can make a few. I wouldn't be shocked to see someone like Jimmy Garner maybe play instead of Matic, with Matic on the bench. I think that'd be a really good option. I just think that's a hell of a lot of changes, and the options are so limited at the moment. It's one of those. Bradder says, if you lose to Tranmere, do I think the Glazers could pull the trigger on Aldi? Yeah, I do. And Burn, do I think this would be a good time to test another formation like 4-4-2 or 4-3-3? I'd like to see us play 4-3-3. 4-4-2, I don't think we've got the players for, but 4-3-3, yeah, I would love to see us play that. However, we don't really have two midfielders, let alone three, so I don't know how they're going to do that. Which game should we prioritise with our walking wounded? This or the Carabao? Definitely this. Definitely this. Clement says Levitt and Garner, maybe in Timbo in midfield. As I already said, I think Timbo probably needs a little bit more game time, or I don't know if I said it in this one, or the 15 other fucking takes it took to get this one out. But what I said, if I didn't say it, was I think maybe Bay's probably not fully fit to play in the Premier League just yet, and Timbo, from what I saw of him in the 23s, needs a couple more games at least. The level in my head I have of Timbo, he was nowhere near that, so a bit more. Given the hyper criticism on Solskjaer after Wednesday, Harry subs starting lineup, I could see that he had any other options, and even while Shaw is poor, he offered more natural overlap on the left. Did he? I mean, Shaw doesn't overlap. I think that's one of the reasons why Brandon's taken to the first team so well. There weren't many options. I mean, you can argue about a couple of the choices, but yeah, you're right. There wasn't a fucking ton of options. A chance for Axel if he's fit. I think he probably plays in the 23s again first before he does, or comes off the bench a bit. Ash says, given the state of the squad, could you see Ole going all with the kids like in Astana, or is it too much of a must-win game after Burnley? It's definitely a must-win game, I think. I would almost expect him to maybe try and do that on Wednesday, but like, can you imagine how bad it would be if we get like 6-0 or something off City? It'd be fucking horrendous, wouldn't it? Ulrich says, expecting to see Timbo, Levitt, Garner this weekend. I wouldn't expect to, but I would like to, but I don't know if we're going to. Do we realistically have a chance to win anything this season if we don't sign anybody for the first team? No. I would have set us up to play competitive and give breaks considering the fixtures coming up. Get to the end of next week, get that break done, and see who's fit come the start of that. But you still need signings. John says, what the fuck are these clowns playing out with the recruitment? Kids against Tranmere to keep what little first teamers left we have fit and rested. I don't think they could afford to. Imagine the headlines if Ole goes out to Tranmere tomorrow and you can't even say, well, he played the kids, because they'll go, oh, Klopp paid the kids and they won, and you're like, fucking can't win. Fred has improved a lot this season, but I think he slows us down by taking an extra touch or two when he doesn't need to. If we had the squad, would Tranmere be the type of game where he's used primarily as a 6? Yeah, I think that's a good point. Fred has played well. The same way McTominay was playing well, but there's levels to this game. And if we had the video that I stuck out yesterday when we was talking about a midfield with Bruno and Saul, what an absolute upgrade that is on both Fred and McTominay. But how good would it be that if Saul was injured, you can bring in McTominay? And you're like, fine, crack on. Or if Bruno's injured for a couple of weeks or looking a bit jaded, you throw Fred in. And he plays to the level he's been playing at now. Like, yes, there's a slight level drop, but not a dramatic level drop like we've had recently. And I think that's how you manage a squad. You know, it is what it is. Mabtrix, same question. Like, yeah, Levitt, Garner, Gomez, and Bernard. I think, yeah, some of these are going to get some opportunities. I don't think he can afford to go completely. Loads of questions asking the same thing. George saying, are we getting knocked out? I want to say absolutely not, but would it be smart to lose this game to try and force the club into playing Bruno? Fucking hell, if losing at Lamfield and losing at Burnley is not going to do it, I don't think losing at Tranmere is going to do it. Ollie stated we've only had one proper transfer window. Is that his way of having to go at the board for the mess of this transfer window? Yeah, I don't think there was any chance that he was going to be bringing people in when he was definitely the interim manager last January. So I think that's fair enough that we've only really had the summer to do anything. But yeah, at the moment we are less than a week away and nothing has happened. I mean, I'm recording this on Friday, so if we sign someone Friday night, I've not had a chance for that. And woo, if we did, but like we fucking didn't, did we? So it's a joke that we're less than a week away having a window open and we've just done nothing. And it's not like it's like, do you know what, we're all right. Maybe it would be nice to get someone in. No, we're actually fucking desperate. We're actually fucking desperate. And we're not. Odds on Mike Dean refereeing the game. Referee's already been allocated, I think. If he's not refereeing himself, he's in the fucking crowd on top of the stands, isn't he? Tranmere's top goal scorer has 8 goals. What sort of attacking threat will come from them? Aerial balls. I've not watched anywhere near enough of Tranmere. I've done a bit of cursory fucking looking at them and then checked out all the stats from them on who scored. So, fuck knows. I did watch the under-23 game when they played and they beat us in that, but that's not really going to give us any sort of indication how this one's going to go. Chong did score a couple in that game, so maybe they fancy playing Chong against them again. We will see. If we don't sign anyone by the end of the month, is it a sign that the board don't believe in Ole and they see him going, so won't sign any players, he won't be here to manage, or is it just a sad state of affairs that the club is in right now? Both. Like, I don't think you can't try and... Have you ever had like an ex-bird who you try to logic your fucking way round what the fuck she's coming out with sometimes, and then you go, actually, she's fucking crazy, so what am I doing? That's what these lot are. You can't try and apply logic to them because the things that they do don't apply logic. Would you ever buy an asset for 600 million fucking pound and then treat it like the fucking stepchild that we're treating it like? You wouldn't, would you? I think any of us, certainly those of us who like football, none of us would buy a football club at any level, at any fucking thing, if we had the money and treat it like this. Because I think as football fans, we don't treat these as cold-blooded businesses. We treat them with the love and affection and, let's be honest, unrealistic sort of fucking expectations that you'd have on football clubs, and you would want them to do the best, and you would probably fucking ruin your own personal finances to make that happen. That's not what they're doing. They're shocking businessmen. Shocking businessmen. They own 3 fucking major businesses and own nearly 2 billion between the 3 of them. What the fuck is that? And how do I get on that sort of credit rating? Jesus Christ. That's a fucking hell of a weekend. 1.8 billion in debt. How'd you sleep at night with that? Christ. Anyway, enough about them fucking clowns. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, go and check out the video yesterday on who I think United should be signing. 6 players that I think would actually transform United into a competitive team. And come and join us over on Stretford Paddock tomorrow for the watch along, and I might get off my fucking box on rum. Let's tune in to find out. Laters.